Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in for this video. This is what I call a Facebook forum, and I've done 3 different videos of this type before. And basically, the way I set this up is earlier in the day, I will pose a question or a topic on my Beauty Broadcast Facebook fan page, and I say, you know, underneath this question in the comments section, feel free to ask any questions you want about the topic. This week, it was all about eye makeup. In the past, I've had 3 other videos on this, and I did one on just, my first one I think was on just makeup tips in general, and then I did one on diet and fitness, which Tyler was a guest question answerer there, and then I did one on anti-aging with my mom and my sister. So I'll have links to those in the side if you want to see it, but it's just kind of, you know, I'm sitting here basically just answering your questions. I had 70 questions at least asked on this topic on eye makeup there, so I obviously can't get to all those, and I don't want to make this like a marathon video for you guys to watch, so I kind of either picked questions that I have been asked a lot in the past, or maybe a unique question that I thought would help a lot of people, or just something I felt really confident in answering. There are some questions on there that I really did not exactly know the answer to, and so I'm not going to try to sit here and act like I know the answer, but like I wish I could answer every single question, but I'm just going to select some, and then, you know, I'll continue to do these. I'm going to try to do them on a more consistent basis, so, you know, at some point down the line you can get your question answered. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. First question came from Lydia and also Stephanie. They were asking about wearing red and pink shades on your eyes without looking kind of like you're sick, and that had been a big concern of mine before I started wearing those really warm colors. And my first tip on that is if you want to wear reds or pinks on your lid, I think it's very important to make sure you use eyeliner as well, because that's going to give that definition between the color and the eye itself. If you think about it, if you just went all pink all over your lid and had no definition or no sort of a finished look to it with the eyeliner, it might make you look like your whole eye area is just a little red and swollen. So if you want to put it on your lid, you can. I actually did red. I did MAC cranberry all over my lid last weekend, and it turned out really well, but part of the reason why was because I did line it. I did a little winged out liner. The look appeared to be very finished. I also used a black shade in the crease, so kind of using more than one color, not only using the red or the pink is a good idea. And also, another great way to use those shades, probably my favorite way to use them, is to do your eye look. Let's say you just kind of went light shade on the lid, darker shade in the crease and outer V, and then take that warm shade, the red or the pink, and go over it right in this area. I'm not doing it right now, but I'm just trying to show you approximately where it would be, and you get a really, really pretty kind of fade look there. I've done several looks where I've taken the warm shade like that and used it in that way, and it comes off really pretty. I mean, it's just a very different look. So hopefully that gives you some ideas to not look like you're getting sick when you use those colors on your eye. Next question from Christina: how to prevent smudging under the eye? Get asked this all the time. I had a video I did way back when I first started doing videos about preventing the under eye smudging, and here's my tip. Typically, you're going to use a pencil on your under eye and liquid on the top. I mean, you can obviously do whatever you want, but I find it difficult to use a liquid liner on the bottom because of your eyelashes really get in the way. So let's say I'm going to use Revlon Color Stay eyeliner under my eye like I did today. I used this one in black brown, and I just went under my eye area here. And I feel like Revlon Color Stay does a fantastic job of, it's a little bit of a drier liner, but yet it's smooth enough to go on very evenly without kind of skipping as you put it on, but it does not tend to smudge too terribly bad. I know we've all had different experiences with different products, but I put that on, I top it with a powder in a coordinating shade. Today I might have used dark brown or black and just take a liner brush, like an angled liner brush, and just top that off with the shadow. Okay, there you're putting a powder product on top of a cream-based product, and you're already functioning to absorb oils out of the liner. Then what you want to do, I have a little cheapo concealer brush that I believe I got from Walmart a long time ago, and have some powder, like the Maybelline Mineral Power Finishing Powder is one that I use. It's just a pressed powder and a little compact. And once you've done your whole eye look, go around and go right up under the liner, just like that. Not on top of it, but right up under it. This has been on. By the way, I gotta give you a frame of reference here. That's what I did today. You pat it underneath. I was up at 1:30 a.m. with this face of makeup on because I had to do a morning newscast, and now it is about 20 till 9 at night, and I'm not dealing with smudges, and I took a nap as well, and I almost always see some sort of smudge, but if I really make a conscious effort to do my eye makeup this way, it usually works for me. So again, you want to put your cream liner down, top it with powder, and then put a little bit of powder underneath. You don't have to cake that powder on underneath, but a little bit, because basically you've put your cream on and you're surrounding it by powder products that are going to absorb any oils that come away from it. If you haven't tried that technique, please test it out. Just use any pressed powder you want to use is going to be able to work for you here underneath. But that's been the strategy that works best for me. And you may want to go, if you have problems especially in the corners, also think about not getting too much liner in the corner of your eye. If I was going into line right here, don't really pile it on there in the corner. If you have issues with that corner of your eye getting smudgy, watery, whatever, make sure you're putting the minimum amount possible, and definitely top it off with the powder. So next question, best technique for winged liner. I'd like to refer you, and that's from Jennifer, I'd like to refer you to my Valentine's Day tutorial where I really show basically how I do this. But to do it, I would use a liquid. Say if you were using a liquid pen, I would trace all the way on my natural lash line, and by natural lash line I just mean right where my lashes are coming out, so from here to here, and then draw a little line from the very corner of your eye as if you were going to draw it all the way up to the outer part of your eyebrow, but just take it out a little bit, just as far as you want the wing. It may be just like that much or something. And so when you draw that out, you're going to connect over, and it's like you've got a little open triangle thing going on. Yeah, like I said, you could see it in action in my Valentine's Day tutorial that I just did a few videos back, and you'll be able to see how to do it. But it's a matter of drawing your line up, connecting it over. You've got kind of an open triangle, and you just fill it in. And I know I've probably oversimplified that in my explanation, made it sound too easy, but practice does make perfect with that. And start small. If you've never done winged liner before, just go out a little ways, and then make your little wing. Once you get more comfortable, go more dramatic with the look, but just start small and practice. Angie says, best eyeshadow brands that are blendable. If you're looking for a drugstore shadow that really blends well, CoverGirl, their formula has improved leaps and bounds from what it was several years ago. Just looking in my little drawer here, Milani, great shadows. NYX or NYX available at cherryculture.com. Those blend beautifully. The shades from Glam Couture, they're available online. If you Google Glam Couture Cosmetics, you'll be able to see those shades. They're very, very bright, but they are super, super blendable. On the more high-end scale, I find that some of the MAC shades blend a little better than others. I like the frost finishes. I think those have worked really well for me. Smashbox is wonderfully blendable, and so are the Sigma shades, but you need to watch out for a little bit of sparkly fallout there. But if you are careful about your application, those will blend very nicely as well. Caitlin says, how do you get a smoky under eye without looking like you fell asleep with your makeup on? Great question. And something I had wondered about a lot until I kind of started studying different videos and really experimenting with on my own eyes. And basically, here's my tip. You can line your waterline and then go right under your lash line with some powder shadow, and then just basically buff that out with a small shadow brush, like a fine crease brush or a smallish brush. Like this is one from Coastal Scents that's just like, you know, one of these very little brushes that can get right in there and smudge it right out. That's an interesting smoky look because you're getting an even more dramatic look by lining your waterline, but then by using a powder underneath and then smudging it out right here. You just got to stay very close to your lash line with that, and it's not going to look too messy. If you're not comfortable with lining your waterline, or if you're like me and sometimes you feel like it makes your eye look a little bit closed in, just go ahead and do your liner technique like normal. What I've got today is a pretty kind of clean, precise liner look, but if I were to make this smoky, what I might do is when I topped my regular cream liner with a shadow, I might, instead of using my angled brush, which is very, very slim like that, use this brush, use the tip, take the tip and put it down in the product, and then use that to kind of buff over the outer part. And another really great way to kind of keep your whole look contained once you're done with it goes back to that concealer brush with the powder and kind of patting it in. So sometimes you can clean up a look really quickly if you just kind of pat around it, and you can almost see how that would define this shape that I've got here a little better. Next, sorry if I'm taking a really long time with these. Let me see, where was I? Gilda says, eyeshadow shades for mature women and also outer V's on smaller lids. To answer this in a quick nutshell here, for mature women, if you've got an aging eye area, which we all technically do, but if you're seeing wrinkles in your eye area, you do not want to go with highly, highly shimmery products because that's going to draw the light to it. Those wrinkles are going to stand out more, and I don't think you're going to be really pleased with the look, especially as you wear it throughout the day. So think about matte eyeshadow shades that don't have a lot of sparkle to them. And basically get a light shade in the lid, a darker shade in the crease. And with outer V's, the question was phrased, doing an outer V on a smaller lids, but really the outer V doesn't have much of an impact on your lids, because as you can see, with my outer V, my shadow is going beyond my eyelid area. It's really just a matter of pulling that shadow up and around the eye just a little bit more. I would use some matte taupes, plums, browns, maybe even some navies, but not too terribly dark, and just bring your outer V subtly outside your eye area. Don't go too overboard. Stick to your crease and just gently bring that shadow up. When your eye is so many of us try to do our eye makeup where we're looking down and we're looking at our eye in that way, but as you look straight ahead, what you can see beyond your eye is kind of the outer V. So keep it subtle and just try to build with what you're comfortable with. Rihanna says how to make downturned eyes not look so tired. That goes back to the outer V techniques and techniques using cat-eyed liner, or liner that just goes up slightly at the outer part of the eye. I've done makeup on people whose eyes tend to go down just a little bit, and it really does make a difference when you take the liner and instead of maybe tracing just exactly where the eye goes, you do that, but you really concentrate on bringing it up and using shadow to create more of that lifted look. Next question's from Yelena about eye makeup removers. She says some removers are too oily or don't remove thoroughly. What are some of the best products and methods? There are a lot of great oil-free eye makeup removers out there. Right now I'm using the Almay one. There's also oil-free versions from Neutrogena and also Rimmel. I feel like they remove pretty well, but sometimes there are still those products that are a little more resistant to being removed, and so I would suggest when you get some of that on, say, a cotton ball or like a cotton pad, to really hold it over your eye and let it kind of soak in. Let it really saturate those areas that are not wanting to come off, and almost wiggle it just a little bit, almost wiggle it just a little bit, wiggle it just a little bit before you take that off, and that's going to really loosen some of the makeup. But another tip is to take like a Q-tip and really get it in there on some of those areas along the lash line. Sometimes you remove your makeup, but what really remains is still a little bit of residue around your lash line. So a Q-tip really has the ability to get in there and concentrate right on those areas. Also, my Olay Daily Facials face wash cloths do a really good job of not only taking off my face makeup, but they can take off pretty much any eye makeup I have on as well, whether it's waterproof or not. So I've been pretty impressed with that, and it's the same concept applies. You know, if it's a little more resistant, really try not to scrub back and forth too much. Wiggle it just a little bit, because doing that on your eyelid will definitely cause irritation. I know that firsthand. Then Christian says, should you match your clothes to your eyeshadow, or what are some tips to bring out the color of your clothes in your makeup? I am one who tends to be pretty inspired by clothing in terms of, you know, I figure out what I'm going to wear, and then I decide what I'm going to do with my eye makeup. Or if I've got a really special eye look in mind, I'll sort of coordinate my clothes. But you don't have to match, and you know, you don't necessarily want to look like you have just matched yourself from your outfit to your shoes to your jewelry to your eye makeup. It can just be a little bit much, but what I would suggest is kind of working within certain ranges of tones. Like, let's say I'm going to be wearing something where maybe I've got a colorful top or colorful shoes or something, but black is also involved in my outfit. Then I would stick with, you know, maybe doing a eye look that involved not only black, but some sort of bright color, because those sort of complement each other. If you're talking brights and blacks, you know, you can work with those kinds of shades on your eye. It doesn't have to be the same bright shade you wore, but, you know, you can work it into an eye look. Another idea is if I'm wearing like oranges, like I have an orange outfit on now, or cream shades, browns, olive greens, those more earthy tones, I would go with more neutrally brown toned looks. It's just kind of like, look at the color family you're wearing. Is it neutral, or is it something that could go with a bright shade? And, you know, you don't, like I said, you don't have to exactly match it up. I could wear this and do a really pretty olive eye look, you know. I just think it makes sense to keep it within sort of that color family that you're working with. But you can also pick like contrasting colors. Something I love to do over the summer is when I was wearing a bright coral top, I liked using like turquoise on my eyes. I thought it made a nice contrast. Look kind of in real life and find the things that you think, like you see color combinations sometimes that really catch your eye. Why does that catch your eye? And would that be interesting in makeup? You know, kind of try to think of it in those terms. Another lasting little point here, a lot of people asked about good eye creams. And I'd like to say I'm an expert on eye creams, but I'm not. I haven't tried all that many. Really, the one that I had been trying for quite a while was from Mary Kay, and it was the firming eye cream. I like that okay, but I just kind of wanted to branch out a little bit more, because I hear from a lot of people who say I want to be able to pick this up in my drugstore. What I'm using now is the Olay Age Defying Anti-Wrinkle Eye Cream, and this comes with a whole line of products that I'm actually trying, like the Olay Age Defying SPF 15 day lotion, and there's a night cream as well. So I went to the drugstore not too long ago, and I thought, you know, I'm just going to test out some new skincare products here, see if I like them, and I plan to put together a new skincare video once I am sure, you know, that I kind of would recommend this stuff, I guess. But yeah, this is what I'm using now. What I'm looking for is basically something that can really moisturize my eye area overnight, and hopefully work as sort of a preventative measure to keep from developing a lot of wrinkles around the eye area. I don't know if that's wishful thinking or what, but I don't feel like I can give you a really solid, like, this eye cream is better than all the rest, because I don't think I've tried enough. But if I turn out to really enjoy this product that I'm using right now from Olay, I will review it. You know, I will let you know either way if how it works out. But if you all have any suggestions about eye creams, I would love for you to share those below this video in the comments section, because I feel like it is a very common concern. It's something a lot of us are thinking about, even if it is in sort of the preventative stages as opposed to the corrective. And so if you've got a good tip, please share, because I would like to hear it just as much as everyone else, I think. So anyway, thanks for tuning in for this Facebook forum video. I'll be doing more of these in the future on some of these general topics. You can ask a question and I will try my best to answer it. So thanks again, guys. Have a great day.